Hey, it's the Big Ol' Pile of Money. This is the intro video to the channel. This channel was made to show individuals how to invest and really as my passion project. I love personal finance, I also love YouTube, and I hope that through both we can help teach individuals how to make money and also to have less stress in their life through personal finance. These videos are not made to be complex. Actually, these are for people that have never ever invested before, have no idea how to do it, and hopefully they can gain some information and also education on how to do so. What this channel and series of videos aim to do is to start off someone on their investing journey, someone who's never opened an account, teach them how to open an account, how to start investing, and then essentially how to watch those investments grow over time. The first video on the channel shows how to open an account. We chose Vanguard as I've never opened an account at Vanguard and wanted to walk through the process just like anyone else. The second video shows how to actually purchase a stock. We chose VTI, which essentially buys all the stocks in the US stock market, as this tracks an index or multiple indexes, I should say, and hopefully over time should be very profitable for people. After that, the videos should be somewhat regular as to show how these investments are performing over time. As I had said in the first video, but also to reiterate on the channel opening video, what the goal is of this channel is to not only help people but also to give back. By that I mean that all of the money that is in the channel, regardless of if it's my own money or if it's anything that comes from donations, or if this video ever becomes popular enough to generate revenue, will go back into the channel, and minimally 5 years later, we will see if all of the assets will be liquidated. If all the money is taken out of the channel, minimally 50% will go to some form of charity. There is also donations set up through Ko-Fi, both through PayPal and also other means. If you are feeling like you would like to add to the Big Ol' Pile of Money, please do so, and that will be added, like I said, into the growing amount of money through the Big Ol' Pile of Money. I don't anticipate any revenue through YouTube, but if that were to also occur, they would also be 100% added to the growing pile of money. There's a link in the description of the channel and all the videos on how to donate to this cause. There's also a lot of confusion as to how to start investing, why it's profitable, other things like that. Through some of these channels, hopefully too, I plan to at least go over some topics and to try to, as simply as possible, make sense as to why it is a good strategy going forward. I know that there are other channels that show math, but it's hard to just realize the numbers, even though a lot of times they make sense, without seeing over time how someone actually invests and how somebody can actually do this with a limited income. It doesn't really hold much weight in my opinion. Therefore, this channel is set up to put in $25 a week. Sometimes I know that that might be a struggle for a lot of people, but it is something that is achievable for a large majority of individuals in the United States, and so that hopefully if they see that they can commit that amount of money, they can see what it will grow to over time. In the intro video, in just a minute, I also will show what those can go to in a calculator, but the idea is to not see how this is going to grow just over a week or 2 weeks, but over a period of years, just by putting your money instead of into a savings account or other areas, how much more it can work for you while it's actively invested. So we're going to look at next is how this actually makes sense mathematically. So if you go to an investment counter, I chose Ramsey Solutions because I think it is the most appealing visually. There's Bankrate, there's some other ones, but if you type in right now your current age, let's say for argument's sake you're 30 years old. Again, many people can put in whatever you'd like, but how much money do you currently have? Let's say you have nothing. Let's say you contribute $100 a month, which for this channel is the $25 a week goal. And let's say that you're going to do 8%. You're doing the 8% and then you hit calculate. You'll see at the bottom, historically, 10 to 12% is what the S&P 500 had got. So 8% seems fairly reasonable if you're doing stocks. And that turns into $271,639. You contribute $44,400 of that over that period of time. Now, that's incredible. Just by putting that much money in there, you grow $227,000 in change. We can play around with the numbers. Let's say you were 25. If you were 25 and let's say you made, instead of an 8% return, 9%, well then that amount of money jumps to $562,699, which is unbelievable. That money is huge as far as the growth that you do just by having it be invested in there as opposed to putting it under your pillowcase or putting it into a savings account. Now, if you were 22 and you had even more time, even again with $0, and instead of doing $100, let's say you change that. Let's say you're able to do $200, which is a lot per month, but you're able to do that with 10% growth, and that's over $2 million. That is truly incredible. And what this channel aims to do is $2 million. You're like, yeah, okay, that's not realistic. To see how, over a period of years and decades, this is going to improve. Now, you'll see a lot of that growth is exponential. You'll see it later in time. But let's say we go back to the 100. Again, we go back to the 8%. We go back to being 30 and you retire at 67. Let's recalculate that. And you get the $271,639. Well, let's say then we change the age to 67. We go back, we put that amount of money where how much we actually have. Let's say it's around that amount of money by the time we reach 67. And let's say we go to basically towards the end of most people's lives, around 90 years old. Let's say we contribute nothing else and we take out 4%. So that's half of what we expect to gain essentially from the rest of this. You calculate it. If you take out 4% and you're gaining 4%, it's going to grow another $680,000. That is amazing. And really, that's what this channel aims to show. It's not to be fearful, it's to be realistic. You know, whether or not Social Security is there for individuals in the United States remains to be seen. But you can do at least as much as you can to kind of prepare for the future financially. And this is a way to set you up and show you how to do it. You'll see a bunch of things as far as different influencers and other things talking about how to get rich and things like that. True investment and how you're going to actually have stability is boring. You know, it kind of is not fun, but these show you exactly how to do it. I also have some resources that I'll put at the very end of this intro page, and I put 3 main ones. One of them it's called The Money Guys, and realistically, for the majority of people, if you go to their website, and don't even worry about this website, just go to their website, look up all their resources. They have a very set, tried and true plan. They have a great podcast, and their information is extremely good into getting individuals set up and actually how to invest well for the future. If you have a very high income, let's let's say, and you just happen to be on this page because you don't know what to do with that money, something called the White Coat Investor may be ideal for you. If, though, you are struggling in debt, you're up to your eyeballs in debt, you have no idea what to do, I would go to Ramsey Solutions, Dave Ramsey. I would read his book. I'll say his investment advice outside of how to getting out of debt, I would take with a very large grain of salt, although we did use his calculator. Some of the other advice is questionable, but if you set up and follow the principles for the majority of these individuals, you will do well later in life. Thanks, and I hope you're doing well.